All right, we're going to jump into this Bernie Sanders content. Boom. See what he's talking about.
I was at the Trump inauguration yesterday, and needless to say, I disagree with much of what he had to say.
Me too.
But what really struck me, however, is not what he said, which was not surprising given his rhetoric, but what he didn't say. What he didn't say. The simple truth is that Donald Trump gave a major speech, the first speech of his second presidency, and ignored virtually every important issue facing the working families of this country. How crazy is that?
Real crazy.
Our healthcare system is broken, is dysfunctional, and it's wildly expensive. Not one word from Trump about how he is going to address the healthcare crisis. We pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs, sometimes 10 times more than the people in other countries. And 1 out of 4 Americans are unable to afford the prescriptions that their doctors prescribe. Not one word in his speech on the high cost of prescription drugs. We have 800,000 Americans who are homeless and millions of people spending 50 or 60% of their limited income on housing. We have a major housing crisis in America. Everybody knows it. And Trump, in his inaugural address, did not devote one word to it. Today in America, we have more income and wealth inequality than we have ever had. The wealthiest 3 people in America now own more wealth than the bottom half of our society. But Trump had nothing to say, not one word, about the growing gap between the very rich and everybody else. And maybe, just maybe, that's because he had those 3 people, the 3 wealthiest people in our country, sitting right behind them at his inauguration.
All right, hold on. Just a second, though. I don't think that anyone expected or expects in the future for Donald Trump to be addressing income inequality, because there's no reason for you to believe that he would. There's no reason to believe that he would be educated on any inequalities within society. Straight up. And he don't care, to keep it real. There's no reason for you to think that he cares about the housing crisis or the healthcare crisis, because there's only one crisis going on right now in his mind, and he already got so many people to believe it. There's only one crisis. There's a crisis at the border. Don't believe that there's any other crisis. I ain't even hear nobody say nothing about Big Pharma since Donald Trump started running for office, because he's not a politician. He's not attached to Big Pharma. So Big Pharma disappeared. Like, it's like, yo, y'all could do whatever y'all want. These are interesting points that Bernie Sanders pulls up. But at the same time, there's no expectation for Donald Trump to be a decent person.
And I should add that those 3 people, if you can believe it, and this really is unbelievable, saw their wealth increase by more than $233 billion since the November elections. How's that? $233 billion increase in wealth for the 3 wealthiest people. No wonder they were sitting right behind Donald Trump at his inauguration. They couldn't be happier. During his inaugural speech, Trump did not have one word to say about how we're going to address the planetary crisis of climate change. The last 10 years have been the warmest years ever recorded, and extreme weather disturbances and natural disasters are taking place all over the world, from Los Angeles to India, across Europe to North Carolina. Not one word from Trump about climate change, except, of course, to make it clear that he intends to make this horrific situation even worse with drill, baby, drill. just brilliant. In the coming months and years, our job is not just to respond to every absurd statement that Donald Trump makes. Our job is to stay focused on the issues that are of importance to the working families of our country and, in fact, are widely supported by the American people. Let me just mention a few of them. Yes, healthcare is a human right, and we must join every other major country in guaranteeing healthcare to all people through our Medicare for All single-payer program. Healthcare is a human right. Yes, we must take on the greed of Big Pharma and substantially lower the cost of prescription drugs in this country. Yes, we must build millions of units of affordable housing and low-income housing. Yes, we must make sure that all of our young people have the ability to get a higher education by making public colleges and universities tuition-free. Yes.
I don't know if I agree with that. Like, granted, I've already completed college. I've gone through post-grad. I'm currently in a doctorate program. So this is not gonna affect me. But I have a 15-year-old son. He'll be 16 next month. He's already interested in college. I still don't believe that there should be no fee attached to public universities and colleges. I don't know. Because who pays for it then? The government. And I don't think we're equipped for that right now. That might be something that could happen in the future. I don't think that this is the time for it. I could be wrong. I don't know what his policy was going to be for free healthcare and free colleges and universities, public colleges and universities, but I don't see that as a positive. I'm going to keep it real.
Yes, we must work with the global community to combat climate change by cutting carbon emissions and transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel and into sustainable energy.
Now, I'm not going to act like I knew. I did just look up information about drill baby drill on ChatGPT, and the phrase drill baby drill refers to policies and practices advocated for increasing oil and gas drilling to enhance energy independence and economic growth, right? But these are the things I said. How does drill baby drill impact climate change? So number one, it increases greenhouse gas emissions, and all of these other things. I'm gonna just put that there. So I don't know if that's positive, but like I said, when I do like separate research and stuff like that, when it's deep, I'm gonna make another video addressing all of that stuff.
Yes, we must pass legislation to raise the absurdly low federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour to a living wage.
$7.25 is a wild number. $7.25, and then it's also taxed on top of that. I don't agree with that. I don't know if $17 an hour is the answer. I do feel like incremental change might work, and we could get to $17 at a certain point. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I have to do more research into that. But I appreciate the fact that he's even thinking about the person that is making minimum wage and how they could be brought into economic sustainability by raising the minimum wage. But I don't know about $17 an hour right now.
Of $17 an hour. Anybody who works 40 hours a week in this country should not be living in poverty. Yes, we must pass the PRO Act and make it easier for workers to join trade unions and grow the trade union movement in America.
I agree with that.
Yes. In order to help fund the needs of working families in this country, we must demand that the wealthiest people in this country including those individuals sitting right beside Donald Trump at his inaugural, start paying their fair share of taxes. We must end a corrupt.
That is 1,000% not going to happen during this presidency. That's something that we shouldn't even be worried about right now. That's crazy wishful thinking. It's not gonna happen. We gotta focus on other stuff. But I respect the thought.
Campaign finance system, which allows a handful of billionaires to buy elections and move us rapidly into an oligarchic form of society.
It's interesting that Donald Trump signed something that basically said that we're gonna stop this, but at the same time, it's like you're already president, so I don't know. I have to look into that bill or that executive order that he signed, but at this point right now, there's certain things that it's too late. Like he didn't speak about these things during his inauguration speech, but do we believe that he was supposed to?
Bottom line, as we enter the new Trump presidency, we have got to remain focused. We cannot panic.
Facts.
No matter how many executive orders he signs, and no matter how many absurd statements he makes, our goal remains the same. We have got to educate, we have got to organize, we have got to put pressure on Congress to do the right things. And by the way, with Republicans only holding a 3 or 4 seat advantage in the House, we can stop them time and time again if we are organized.
Salute.
Finally, my friends, we have got to fight to create an America based on economic, social, racial, and environmental justice. That's what we've got to work on. Let's go forward. Let's do it. Thank you.
Yo, I respect the fact that this dude, right, Bernie Sanders, is up in age. As a matter of fact, how old is Bernie Sanders? How old is Bernie? '83. So my man was born in 1941, right? He's lived his life and he's dedicating his time and energy to educate and let people know what's going on is not what should be going on. I thoroughly respect it. I also need to go to this chart and see, is Vermont one of those places? No. Wait. Where's Vermont, bro? Vermont's not on this chart. Did Vermont join the lawsuit? Okay, yes. Vermont has joined the lawsuit challenging President Donald Trump's executive order that seeks birthright citizenship. So, all right, Vermont, respect. How come it's not on this list, though? I don't know. That's how you know your research. Like sometimes when you do research on certain platforms, like I'm using ChatGPT right now, and it's not there. So I'm glad that I know where Bernie Sanders represents, and I was looking for Vermont, and I had to double check. But yeah, Board of Education, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that YouTube stuff. I appreciate you. I'm out.